Hey, hello, 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 hi, gigpreneur. What is going on? Welcome. Happy Friday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. My name is Sean Zimi, and I help folks with a job to create a side gig online and use social media to grow it. If that is you and you are looking to grow or start a side gig, drop the word me in the comments and I'll get back with you after this live. What is happening? Good having you guys on. If you're joining me live or replay, would be nice to know where you are tuning in from. I am from Southern California. Please pray for us. We're supposed to have 3 days of rain. I am hoping that it rains like it's raining a lot, be it with all the fires and everything going on. I don't know. I'm hoping that would help. And so keep us in your prayers. And yeah, let me know where you are tuning in from. What is going on where you're? It's chilly out here. It's really chilly tonight. So, and during the day, it was really nice. But man, what a day. What a day it was. I had one of those days that for sure it squeezed more out of me than I attempted. So it was one of those days. But hey, let's talk about some of these days you really think about. You're like, okay, I really want a good life, right? And if you're ever heard any of my lives, you would know that I don't know what that means because that would mean something different for everybody. Excuse me. A good life is very subjective, right? What I may consider a good life, you may not consider that a good life. You may think, oh, that's basic, right? Or you may think, oh, that's just so extravagant, right? So having a good life or asking for a good life or talking about a good life, it's very subjective. However, before you were born, you probably asked the good Lord, you're like, I want to be courageous when I come into this world. I want to be just, right? Thank you. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate you. If you're following, thank you for the follow. I'll be sure to follow you back. Very nice. Thank you. So says, you probably said, I want to be courageous. I want to be strong, right? And God says, well, you know what? I'm going to send some monsters down your road so that you learn how to deal with them. And that way you can get courageous. It's not one of those, and I wish it was. I really do. Some of you may wish that too. I really wish it was like you pop a magic pill and then you're courageous or you're fearless or you're strong or you're motivated, right? All that stuff. But it just doesn't work that way, does it? Like if you want to be courageous, you got to do some risky stuff in order to just put that layer of skin, right? To make it thick. So you ask God for courage and he says, all right, I'm going to send some monsters. Be careful. They're going to try to eat you up. That's how you get courage, right? You may have asked, hey, I want to be patient. I want to be patient with people. I want to understand them. And God says, you know what? I'm going to make you work harder and longer so that you learn the value of waiting. Drop a 1 in the comments if you feel in this. Drop a 1 in the comments if you feel in this, right? You're like, hey, I want to be patient, Lord. And what? He makes you wait. He makes you work harder. He makes you work longer. He makes you question him. Isn't this where faith comes into play? You ask for, hey, I want to be wise, Lord. Get me wise. I want to have wisdom. I want to be wise. He says, well, you know what? I'm going to give you some failures in life that is going to crush your spirit so that you value uh, judgment, wisdom. I'm going to give you some failures that's going to crush your spirit. Have you ever had anything like that? Drop a 2 in the comments if you've ever had something really crush your spirit. Maybe it was a business, maybe it was a relationship, maybe whatever it may have been. Drop a 2 in the comments if you feel that, right? Something just crush your spirit. Now, let me ask you this. You ask God for courage and it says, you know what, I'm going to send some monsters your way so you can deal with them. You ask for patience. He says, you know what, I'm going to make you work harder and longer. And then you ask for wisdom and says, you know what, I'm going to give you some failures that's going to break your spirit. You're like, wait a minute, hold up. That sounds like a really tough life, Lord. Like, that sounds like that sounds tough. That sounds like a tough life. Can you like give me a good life? And the good Lord responds back and saying, a good life comes from you being a good person. The same way the quality of a blacksmith is measured by the strength of his steel, you are judged at the end by the measure of, not by the measure of the hammer and the fire that made you, but you are measured at the end, not the hammer and the fire that made you. Having a good life means being a good person, and being a good person means you got to go through some stuff. You got to become a good person. An easy life will never make you a good person, nor will it give you a good life. If you want a good life, it starts with a hard life. Got to put in the work, right? And that's something that it's a work in progress for me. Thanks for the follow. I'll be sure to follow you back. That's a work in progress for me for sure, right? So listen, the next time you're asking for a good life, myself included, just remember, kind of have this in your thoughts that, well, a good life, am I asking for an easy life? Like sometimes we confuse that, right? We want a good life, but we don't want a hard life. We want an easy good life. One that's just handed over to us, maybe win the lotto, something like that, right? But we gotta keep in mind that easy doesn't translate into good, right? Easy doesn't translate into good, especially when it comes to life. When you choose that easy path, life is going to be difficult. Just look around you, look at your own life, see if that's the case. If you choose the easy path, not getting out of your comfort zone, just doing the 9 to 5, 8 to 6, or what have you, right? So most of the time, if you want the good life, you got to sign for that hard life. So with that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. I appreciate you. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. Let this feed grow. If you feel like this is worthy of sharing, do what you got to do. Spread the love, tag a couple of people. We are live on all channels: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, later on X, Threads, and LinkedIn. So be sure to follow me on all channels. I appreciate you guys. If you're following me now tonight as you're a new follower, I'll be sure to follow you back. My name is Sean Azimi, and I help folks with a job to create a side gig online and use social media to grow it. If that's you, drop the word me in the comments, and I'll get back with you after this live. I am signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.